afternoon, and thank you again for joining us, for choosing to spend your afternoon, your day with TCN Network. Mr. Edwards, as we look at you, we see dynamic, we see synergistic, we see successful. Society seems to see someone who has mastered the art, if you may, of several things. But tell us, who is Mr. Edwards? Who is Handel J. Edwards?
That's a great question, really profound, and it will take me a day or two to answer it. But I will tell you that Handel Edwards is more than just an image. There is character that is a part of my fundamental business doctrine. And beyond the image, there is certain principles that I operate on, and it's embedded in my daily operation in running my business.
The desire to start a business comes from somewhere, maybe our grandparents, maybe our mom, maybe a neighbor encouraging us to go beyond the normal confines of what we do. What was the driving force behind what you do?
Okay. I had a childhood desire to be an accountant, and I followed that childhood dream, although there were many obstacles and challenges, but I was still focused on being an accountant. And I'm very, I would say, passionate about what I do. I just don't practice accounting, and I've been a public accountant for over 15 years, just for the money. But I do it because it's a part of me. It's in my blood. It's in my genes. And yes, no other is an accountant in my family, but from childhood, I love math, and I used to practice math on books without supervision or requirements from my teacher. And then I evolve into who I am and what I do. But I do have a passion for what I do. I have clients from different professions, such as lawyers, doctors, dentists, construction worker, restaurants, podiatrist, you name them. But you see, accounting is a science. And once you master the science, it could be applied to any profession. As a matter of fact, one would say my clients range from being a butcher, baker, or a candlestick maker. And I do practice that science with a passion. H.J. Edwards. It's me, Handel Joseph Edwards. My mom, who was a great lover of music, named me Handel because of George Frederick Handel, and I still love music. The middle name, J or Joseph, stand for a biblical significance. Joseph, the fighter, the overcomer, the sustainer, and the redeemer. Okay, so as I indicated before, there were some challenges, just like Joseph had, the biblical Joseph had, but I was able to overcome. I wanted a business to represent who is behind the business. So I made sure that there is a name, there is a person that someone could relate to. For example, when each person walks through the doors of my business, they will always see and meet me and shake my hand, because it's not a fallacious type of business. There's someone who appreciate their business, who respect them, and it's an individual type of service that they get. It's not a cookie cutter, it's not a one size fit all, but it's tailored to their individual needs. For the past 15 years, let's take one aspect of my business, taxation. I have done about 15 to 1700 personal taxes per year. Of those 15 to 1700 clients, over the past 15 years, I've only had 3 audits. And of those 3 audits, I've only lost 1 case. And it's because of my thoroughness, it's because of my passion, it's because I care about what I do for my clients where I'm able to maintain such a record. Because it's not something that I will use the term that I just pile up on a customer in terms of information and documentation, something that is tailored specifically for the benefit of each client. The first word that comes to mind is caring. Next is empathy. And then is professionalism. These important values are what cause my business to stay in service. I also implement that in every area of my leadership. Now, there are different tiers of leadership that I practice in this business. I must manage, I must supervise, but I must lead. All these areas require different techniques, and sometimes I also commingle them when I'm dealing with hiring. Everyone that works for my organization, I personally interview, and I make sure that they're in line with the goal, the mission, and the mission of my business. Because it's not just skills that make this business a successful one. It's personalities, it's desire. I make sure that there is absolute awareness that is practiced in my practice. From self-awareness, customers' awareness, and customers' awareness, there's also the essence of perfect customer service. When I assumed the leadership role, I realized that my staff rely on me to lead, to be visionary, to set goals that are accomplishable, and we must establish measuring instruments in order to accomplish those goals. The goals, of course, involve certain realistic objectives, and I value each member of my staff, administrative and associates input. So therefore, although I'm able to come up with that goal, I also incorporate their contribution, because I do not treat my staff as a puppet. I see them as intellectual capitals, and their presence and their gifts and their talents help me to accomplish what the company's goal is. We are on a mission, of course, and our main market is to provide the Caribbean community with the most dynamic and relevant service that they need, because we understand the culture, we understand the needs, and it's not anyone could satisfy the needs of our Caribbean people. I'm happy to tell you that I'm a proud Caribbean person. As a result, I've invested in the Caribbean. I make sure over the past 12 years, I've visited almost every single Caribbean island, whether it's Grenada, Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados. I could tell you from start to finish. And matter of fact, when I do, I don't go as a tourist. I go as a native. I eat, I dine at the local restaurants, I mingle with people, and I talk, and I understand the difference between Eastern Caribbean from Western Caribbean, because as you said, they're diverse culture, and certain way you would relate to people from the East is not necessarily the same way you will relate to people from the West.
Yes.
So yes, I've invested in the infrastructure of the Caribbean, so to speak. Matter of fact, because of the diversity and the diverse needs of people from the Caribbean, they come to us with various types of experiences and demands. For example, most people in the Caribbean know how to survive in diverse economic conditions because we are survivors. We know what it is to survive without certain things. So this is nothing new to us. However, I've built my practice with that in mind, because these days there are economic trials, and I will listen to them. For example, a client may be doing home attendant, and she may be Perhaps 5 years ago, she was making $1,000 a week. Now she may be making $400 a week. How does she survive when she has a family, she has a mortgage to pay, and she has a family back home? I will look at the needs of the customer, and I will tailor it in order to provide the customer current services based on her current need and financial position. If you're going in this field to make a lot of money, you can, but you won't last long. If you go in because you want to provide service and help to people, make business thrive, then it's the right reason. Bring something different. Do it with a passion. Do it with a purpose. For example, I don't like to see our business people suffer, and especially this economic condition. So there are many tax law changes, and I will apply the tax law changes to benefit my clients. But you must invest in the knowledge as it changes over time, because 2011 tax law has changed. We have over 1,500 tax law changes. So the way we do taxes 5 years ago cannot be the same reason, the same way we are doing taxes today. So we'll have to take the tax law changes and apply to our clients in a unique way that will benefit them. And I must add, I do not practice, let's say, tax evasion. I practice tax minimization in order to benefit my clients as to the minimum tax that they will pay based on our current law.
Thanks again for sharing your time with us, and we'd just like you to share a little with us as to what the services are that you provide, your location, and how our audience would be able to contact you.
H.J. Edwards & Associates is made up of CPAs, enroll agents, and consultants. We provide series of services. By the way, we are located at 1705 Church Avenue between East 17th and East 18th Street in the heart of Flatbush. We provide various services: traditional accounting, bookkeeping, payroll, auditing. We provide these services to butcher, baker, candlestick makers. Anyone, if you own a business or you're an individual, we could help you. We also provide financial services, traditional financial services such as life insurance, health insurance, car insurance, homeowners insurance, and we provide long-term care insurance. Again, if you need representation by us, if you need us to represent you in front of the IRS, we can do that nationwide. We're not limited to New York State, all the United States. If you have any tax questions or tax problems, we're here to represent you. We understand the tax law. We're tax law professionals. We're licensed by the IRS. So therefore, we're not a fly-by-night operation. Please come and see us. Any kind of correspondence that you may have received from the government, whether it's the IRS, the state, any questions you may have about any of the services that we provide, we're here to help you. Our telephone number is 718-284-8525, and we are on the internet at hjedwards.com. You could reach us. We also have another location in Crown Heights, and we also have a satellite operation in Florida. So you could contact our website and you will be able to see all the different services in addition to what I've just mentioned.